Alright, so what we're going to do here is go over this boat. It's Jeff Spira International design. It's the Jubilee, and it was kind of an effort on my part to get him to build a boat that would be good for shallow water and still fit on a regular trailer, John boat trailer. Now you'll see I've got this thing pegged out near the front, and then I had to extend the bunks back just a bit in the back, so she hangs over about a foot from what she really should do, but I've got the bunk wood sticking past the back here. But so it was really, I wanted something that I could use with a nice small horsepower motor, simple tiller design, very low maintenance, and be able to float pretty skinny water, but still have a sharp entry for the waves and such. Now, you know, obviously there's downsides to a small boat like this and this design, which is it's a bit wet. You know, when the wind starts blowing, the waves get up a couple feet. Basically, the water hits here and goes up, and the wind takes it and goes right over onto you. So, you know, I just wear a raincoat, rain pants, get wet. That's all there is to it. So, so just taking you through this boat, you can see I got a trolling motor on there. Use it a lot. A lot of times I'll stand up right on this front bow deck and fish, running the trolling motor. It's one of the 3X designs. Not really favorable of it, but it hasn't died yet, so I'm still using it, and it's about probably 10-11 years old. So getting back to the boat here, front deck, front casting deck, my sole pieces right through there and all the way back into the, call my strap on the anchor, on the rope tie off here, back into the back area where I keep either 2 gas tanks, or I'm actually going to take those 2 batteries, which are normally in here alongside the seat. I put them under there the other day just to get them out of the way when I was going out with the family and the dogs, but it's way too much weight forward, so I need to move those all the way back, and I'm probably going to put them back here under the seat. Now, starting off the bones of this boat, it's pretty simple. You can see it right there. My keelson is a 2x4. It's yellow pine, scarfed. Runs the whole length of the boat up to the stem. The stem's pretty simple. Get into my little anchor hatch here. You see my stem, pretty simple. It was a 2x6. While we're in here, we'll just go over this. This obviously is my anchor well. The nose cone, you can see, this is all poured solid with foam. This is just a rubber mat. Threw down over top of the foam. And yeah, I've got 2 anchors in here, 2 anchor ropes, both over 100 foot long. This is kind of where this is dedicated for that. Yeah, they just come out of the well itself, and I can throw that down. It's pretty simple. The side framing, 1x4, yellow pine, select, so it's not free. I got it at Home Depot. The plywood itself, top, bottom, sides, pretty much all of it is, I think they pronounce it a rockin'. It's the 1/2-inch AC plywood, which used to be easy to find. Apparently they had a problem and burnt their manufacturing facility down down in South America, and it's become a lot harder to find, and it's special order here now. So so it's gonna you know, I bought, when I did this boat, it was like 22 bucks a sheet. It was pretty cheap, and I've got a piece that I left out in the weather for, oh, I don't know, 2-3 years as a test sample, and I should get that and go over that as a little segment, and I probably will. I like simplicity. My last boat, I had a sealed sole. I was worried about having rot develop underneath it. So when I did this boat, I did not seal it. I left it open so I could have airflow. If you see here, or you can hear it because I pushed it under, I've got pink foam underneath each bay floating around. And it's nothing fancy, it's just, it's functional. My upper casting deck, I put 2 hatches in. I think these are the Tempter hatches. I like them a lot. They make it pretty easy to get to my stuff. So that works out good. And I made myself a little center console, not really to steer with. It's kind of just a leaning post and rod holder. Got an accessory light. While we're on that, you can see I have another light under there. These are both, or all 3 are amber. It's kind of my nighttime deck lighting, so I don't trip over stuff. They're in amber. I really like that combination, shining down on the deck and being yellow. My center console, pretty simple. It's made out of plywood. No epoxy coatings, no cloth, no nothing. You know, I didn't put much effort into it, although it still took me 2 days to get the finished product of it. It's just plywood with finish the edges of the plywood off with these little strip pieces, and painted it regular house paint, which is really what a lot of the top side of this boat is, just regular house paint. Battery under. This looks like a battery. It's not. I've got all my, it's just, I'm using it as a storage bin. It's got just all my accessories that I need on the day. Sunscreen, bug repellent, stuff like that. Made myself up a little switch plate and put my switches in there. Little power outlet. Pretty simple. I have a big ass GPS that I traded a small wood john boat for, and then my depth finder. So coming back to the back, you'll see I built the jack plate, put the motor on the jack plate. I'm kind of not really sure how I feel about that thing yet. I mean, I've been able to run skinnier water, but if I'm running on a following sea, and it cavitates out, so I'm not sure. I'll probably end up, I cut this 15 inches when I built the boat. When I went back and did all this, I actually filled this back into what Yamaha spec'd for their transom height. So if you have a motor, you're building a boat, go into the owner's manual and see what they actually recommend for the transom. So I cut it, you can see right here the transition line where I glued these pieces in, glued this top piece in, and I'll probably pull this motor off and drop it back onto here now that, and I think what you're really shooting for is to get this cavitation plate even or 1 inch up. This actually was sticking down, obviously. You can see how much I filled in up here. The cavitation plate was sticking down. I had a lot of lower unit in the water, so I'll probably end up moving that back in. But back to the boat. The outside, the bottom of it, if I walk up to the front here, you can see it's black. Well, that's epoxy and graphite mix. I guess it's 3 years now. It's held up very well. The other side's dulling out. I store it under a shed. The other side gets mostly the sun, so it's kind of hazing up. But as far as durability, I'm pretty pleased with this product, or this way of going. As I mentioned on another video, I'm getting ready to repair a few spots, but other than that, it's been extremely durable. I really like it. The outside coating, this paint, hard stuff. I've touched up a few spots back over here. You can see kind of a haze difference, but other than that, it's high build epoxy, and it's made for industrial applications, water towers, stuff like that. Extremely hard, and that's what my sole is done in also, painting wise. Now this is just AC plywood, absolutely no epoxy resin saturation as far as like the boat building epoxy. There's no cloth, it's just the plywood with that epoxy paint on top of it. And then I threw down sand on top of it, which is for the non-slip part of it. But as far as like having a product that you can put on plywood and have it be wet a lot and not have checking, it's done extremely well. So I think that's pretty much about it. I'll just give you kind of a walk around and you see how I have it laid out. The boat, with just me in it, you know, with the 25, I run around, I don't know, 23, 25 miles an hour. I mean, honestly, with two people, your gear, and the dogs, I pretty much know that I'll be cruising this thing at around a little over half throttle. Good cruising speed for gas and all. I'm running about 15, 17 miles an hour. So it's pretty efficient. Gets up real fast, real easy on plane, and does a good job. So that's just a kind of run around of my Jubilee, and I'll have some other videos to follow on different boats that we've done.